So today we're going to switch it up and use an actual wig cap to make a wig. Alright, so I typically use a mesh dome cap, but today I decided to order a wig cap from Amazon. Now if you know how to ventilate, this will be the perfect wig cap for you to use, but if you don't, then this will show you where to actually place your frontals, and all you have to do is just sew your bundles on in the back. So the stand on the right is the most expensive stand. It's about $60. The stand on the left is about $20. The black heads at the top is about $30. So I just want to let you guys know that. Make sure you measure your head before you order a black head, because you want to make sure you order the right one. So for this video, we're definitely going to have to use hair, and the hair that I'm using is from Ali. They were kind enough to send me this hair. Thank you. This is my first time working with this company, and this, you guys hear me say this once in a while when I find good hair textures, but this is their Mongolian Kinky Curly, and this looks like my natural hair texture, but just a longer version. I got this hair in 26 inches, but because it's Kinky Curly, it does shrink down, so it does not look like 26 inches. It looks more like 22, but if you was to stretch it, it would definitely be 26 inches. So you guys know what I'm doing right now. I am going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to make my guidelines. Now if you were to order a wig from any website, right, you would get a wig like this in a cap like this. So I decided that I wanted to make the wig like you would kind of get it from like a hair supplier, like any Aliexpress store, any Amazon store. And so I was going to single track each width until I got to the top. So I love this cap because it came with combs and needles, so you could sew the combs and needles on here if you wanted to. It also have adjustable straps with it, which is bomb. And here you can see my layout of how I'm going to sew my tracks on it. It's pretty light because I was looking for a black cap, but I could not find it, and I didn't draw any lines on the lace because that's where my lace frontal is going to be attached to, and at the end I'm going to end up cutting it off. So I'm just going to show you that I already started sewing on there. I didn't change my thread color because I wanted you guys to see the actual thread, because it's kind of hard for you to see it on a black dome cap or a black cap versus something so light. So with this kind of cap, I am using a straight stitch to do this, and it is kind of a little bit more difficult versus a zigzag stitch, because a zigzag stitch would definitely catch the track, but if you're using a straight stitch, you definitely want to make sure that it is on the track, because you can easily just sew and you can miss the track altogether. So to start off the track, I am going to start off the stitching, and then I'm a back stitch just to make sure that the track does not lift whatsoever. I'm gonna sew all the way down, and when I get to the end, I'm a back stitch and go forward and lift the foot pedal up, and then cut off the excessive track, and then we're just going to do that all the way through. So let's say you wanted to make wigs, right? I would definitely say you will want to get thread that is closer to the cap color. But for the sake of this video, I wanted to show you guys how the stitching looks underneath, because you really cannot tell when I use a black cap. So if you wanted to use these caps, it's super perfect. I feel like these caps are super beginner friendly because you cannot get wrong the placement of the frontal. It has adjustable straps, and they also comes with combs and needles for you guys to use, which is, like I said, bomb. The wefts on these bundles were super neat, and the beards were a great length. So usually when you have longer beards, you might tend to get a lot of like tanglage or knottage, but the beards was a great length on these tracks or these bundles, and the wefts were super duper neat. So because I am cutting my I guess my wefts, some people will say like you will get more shedding, but I just feel like when it comes to wigs or hair, if you're gonna get shedding regardless of the situation at the end of the day. But especially if you're making wigs, I would highly suggest that you guys cut your wefts when making a wig so it can be the flattest as possible instead of flipping your tracks. And I know that a lot of you guys don't want to cut your wefts, but girl, you will see a huge difference when you flip your tracks versus you cutting your wefts. So this is what the wig is looking like. Super neat, super durable. Like this thing ain't falling apart, and this is what the underneath look like. And after that, I'm gonna just do that all the way to the top, and this is what the top looks like. And where you see that seam, I'm going to do a one last track around that entire portion where you saw that seam before the lace starts. And the reason why I like to do this is because let's say your wig gets old, right? Your lace is balding or like it has holes in it and you just ran through the lace, right? And your bundles are still bomb. And so the best way that you can get the bang for your buck is keeping your bundles and just exchanging out your frontals, right, friends? So that's what I'm doing right here. So I'm making a border between the frontal and the bundles, and I'm making it to where it's easy for me to cut off my frontal and add another one to it. So, and I do this with my customers too, especially when I get a custom made wig. They usually are able to keep their bundles, or we can exchange bundles, add bundles in, and when it's time for them to exchange their frontal out, they can send it back, and then I can do that for them. And this is what it looks like. So basically all we have to do now is just add the frontal on to the wig, and I'm going to stitch it on by hand, and then I'm going to secure it on with my sewing machine. But this is what the inside looks like. If you had thread closer to the cap color, it will look even more neater. So this is what she's looking like, and all you do is just center your frontal, make sure it's even on both sides, pin her down, and then you want to take your thread of choice. I love to use nylon thread, and you want to just stitch it by hand. You don't have to be perfect with this because you are going to go over with your sewing machine, and just stitch it real quick just so you could go over it, and then you have a complete wig. And once that is done, you want to just cut off the excessive material that is underneath, which is that lace that came on the cap. You don't need that. Just cut it off. Oh, and just in case if I might get asked this question, because I know I get asked this on my other videos, no, you don't need to overlap the frontal and that last track. Just sit them next to each other and sew them next to each other. You don't have to overlap them, because if you overlap them and you sew them on top of each other, you might have a little hump. So you don't need that. So this is the excess lace that came on the cap. You want to cut that off because you don't need that as well. So just cut it off and you're ready to go and customize your wig. So the following video that I am going to upload is going to be a customization and an install of this wig, and I feel like she looks amazing. And the curl pattern, you're going to see the curl pattern just transform. All right, best friends, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see more videos of me using different wig caps and to see which one is the best, let me know and I'll just, you know, go ahead and do that. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to leave them down in the comment section. Thank you, Abby, for sending me this beautiful hair. Look at that texture. She's so bomb. She is definitely high maintenance. I'm gonna let y'all know that now, but yeah, I love it. Until next time, bye, best friends.